What is going on, YouTube? PPS back here. It is the 3rd of December. We're coming at you guys for our YouTube Play of the Day videos. I'm going to roll 2 college basketball plays out today. Ton of action across the board. Obviously, World Cup is 30 minutes away from the time I'm recording this. Got so much college football today for all of those conference championships. Those are going on today as well. And just an absolute loaded UFC card and college basketball. I'm going to be all over the place today. So today I'm going to go 2 college basketball spots. I'm going to have a full card of UFC. We already got World Cup in 20 minutes. So we're going to be getting after it today. So if you guys could, before we get started, smash that like button if you could. This weekend's going to be nuts. I got 2 max plays already for tomorrow. NFL slate. We're cooking, and this is the time to do it because a lot of blowouts in the NBA have been killing me, a lot of foul trouble. I don't know if you saw my article I wrote yesterday about Anthony Davis decides to drop 44 points, 0 rebounds in the first half, and still ends up with a double-double, and we missed by 2. It was unreal. I don't know how that happens, but that's, I guess, my fault for not taking the points plus rebounds because the dude absolutely destroyed the Bucks. I haven't seen a center do that to the Bucks in a very long time. But without further ado, let's get into some college basketball, guys. Let's go after it. So first play is a play you guys probably don't know much about. I'm not going to lie. You probably don't watch much of this league, but I've been loving Oakland overs lately. These guys have been fantastic for overs because they are so bad defensively. They have to be one of the worst defensive teams I have ever seen. Literally anybody can score on this team. They rank 359 in adjusted defense, according to Ken Palm, and they play pretty fast, 115 in tempo there. And they're playing Purdue-Fort Wayne, who actually plays extremely fast, right? We're seeing Purdue-Fort Wayne 47th in the country in pace. That is a combination for success here. If you're going to have a team that plays fast against this type of defense, we're going to see some points. And I think it starts out early. Also, Oakland does not force turnovers, and that's really what's been the Achilles heel for this Purdue-Fort Wayne team is they had 16 turnovers a game, right? And Oakland is just not a defense that's going to be able to do that. These guys have been hemorrhaging points. A team we're going to talk about in a minute, Toledo, 112 points on these guys. Eastern Michigan, 92-90 was the final total there. We've seen 78 to Long Beach State, right? Oakland has yet in the last 6 games against, I'm going to say last 6 games, those are real teams, right? They've allowed 60. The lowest amount of points in their first half is 66. They've had up to 90 in the first half against the Toledo team, 94. And they're averaging over 70 points per first half so far this season. I absolutely love this spot. If Purdue-Fort Wayne can continue this pace and not turn the ball over, which Oakland is not going to force you into it, you really have to be pretty bad to turn the ball over against this Oakland team. I think they're going to have success. I like Godfrey. And I also like their center / forward Plantis. He's pretty good. I've only watched one Fort Wayne game so far this year, I believe. It wasn't. I think it was because they were facing off against Detroit and they were on ESPN Plus, and for some reason I turned them on for like 15 minutes. But Oakland is way more fun to watch, right? You're going to see some points in Oakland games. They're 2-7 this year. They have absolutely no chance anywhere, but they do have a guy in Trey Townsend that has been on the team for the last 2 years, finally taking that step forward. I think he's a redshirt sophomore, 17 points per game so far now. He's taking a nice step forward, and I think that's going to be nice here against the team in Fort Wayne that runs. I think he'll be able to have a pretty good game. All right, guys, it's that time. It's that time for my favorite play of the day so far. I'm going to probably have 3 bets in this game, and this right here, certified wagon, right? We talked about Shea Gilgeous. We talked about Nick Chubb last year. The original, this is the original wagon, was these guys in VMI. VMI took 17 steps back because they had transfers out and a lot of guys graduate. But Toledo, so far this year, VIP is 6-0 betting on Toledo, and I'm hoping, knock on wood, that continues. I will be all over these guys today. I don't even care about the matchup at this point, because we're facing off here. George Mason is the matchup, if you guys were wondering who we're seeing today. But I'm not really afraid of this George Mason team. The only reason I'm a little bit upset is they've just played so slow. But we have seen George Mason play a team that wants to run, and that is Buffalo. They're top 10 in the NCAA in pace, and that game played to almost 70 possessions. So that is what I'm hoping for is a game like that, right? 82-74 was the final of that game. Buffalo won. But when they were behind and they had to start pushing the tempo because they were losing and they're playing a fast team, they adapted to Buffalo's pace. And I hope that's the case today. But even if it's not, this is one of the most efficient teams in college basketball. They are returning three of the four, my favorite guys from that roster last year, Ray J. Dennis, JT Shoemate, and Cedric Milner. The only guy that's missing is Ryan Rollins, who's actually playing for the Golden State Warriors now. I would be surprised, unless you went to Toledo, you probably have not watched as much Toledo basketball as me, which is weird because I'm watching it in I've watched them in VMI and these like crap gyms all around here. So I absolutely love Toledo today. They're just so good everywhere you go. There's really you can't double team anywhere. You have snipers everywhere. 38+% from Maddox, Milner, Shoemate, and Dennis from three. That is absurd. I think we're going to have a nice little matchup with Shoemate and Oduru, the number one guy for George Mason, but they just have no depth with their size, right? They really don't have any real big dudes down there. Oduru is the biggest guy. I believe he's 6'8". And Shoemate's huge. He can shoot from the three. They can play 5 out and have 5 guys shooting over 35% on the three-point line. It's just an impossible team to guard. They're so efficient. I just talked about them dropping 100 points on that Oakland team. They're the number one team in the MAC. They just dropped 90 on Richmond, 82 on Northern Kentucky, and those two teams do like to play a little bit slower as well. Richmond is usually pretty methodical in their defense and running their offense, trying to take as much time as you can. And impressively, they dropped 90 on them. What I do like as well, we have had 7 games here, and we have had 3 separate dudes. All 3 of those top guys from last year have led this team in scoring, all of them over 15 points per game on those. And on the season, they're all averaging over 15 points per game. This team is so good. They're a juggernaut in my betting market. I love taking these guys. Nobody cares about them, right? Nobody's looking deeper into these guys, and they're by far my favorite team this year to bet on. And I'm hoping now that we put them into our play of the day video that they'll continue to come through. I'll probably be betting Toledo in like 2 or 3 different ways today. But yeah, this is going to be a wagon again for the whole season. Again, guys, I do my weekend promo when we have UFC events. If you guys want to jump in on that, DM me over on Twitter. Obviously, start of the month, I do run our VIP as well there for our monthly stuff. But yeah, I'm extremely excited for today's action. We're going to have a lot of it. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck. And yeah, let's crush this slate and heading back to number 1 wagon team, the Toledo Rock.